what do you do when you're the shorter guy or you're always dealing with taller opponents? Number one, ask someone who's always facing taller opponents. You find that one short fighter in your group, he can tell you best. But some of the strategies that I've seen is, if you can develop the outside skills, develop your outside arsenal. And it usually means you're going to have to be busy. It usually means you're going to have to fight this guy from the outside, but you're going to have to a more diverse arsenal, and you're going to have to put out more volume. So don't get it confused that you can be the shorter fighter and not always have to jump in. You can fight from the outside as long as you don't allow yourself to be overwhelmed. And one of the things you can do is learn to follow the opponent's strikes. So when he strikes, try to get inside that zone and then let go. Let your hands go. That was one of the things that Cus D'Amato taught Tyson when he got on the inside. You tell him to open up like a sumbitch. So especially when you make a miss, if they miss, try to get on the inside. Try not to position yourself too far away, making it difficult for you to counter or even get off. And that's another thing, is get off first and get off often. And then when you do get in, depending on what your art is, your sport, your combat sport, if it allows for clinching, stick to this guy like glue. If it allows grappling, try to be on top. If it allows just strikes only, you're going to have to use a lot more footwork. And don't forget, in all situations, use your environment. If you have a cage behind you, a wall, a ring, whatever the enclosure is, try to use it like the sidelines in basketball. Use that 6-man. Try to use it to cut off the angle so your opponent cannot escape from you. Now, the biggest thing that you want to use is that skill set that separates you and your training partner, you and your opponent. In other words, if your training partner thinks that you're a wrestler and he's not, or you're the better wrestler, sometimes what happens is he will cut down on his volume, or he won't commit to the strikes the way he should because he's worried about you coming in, darting in. Use that to your advantage if you have it. And it works the other way around too. If your guy is a wrestler but doesn't have, at least 20 to 35% of your striking ability, then you use your striking to make him worried about shooting in, throw his timing off, and keep him on the outside. You've got to have a significant advantage in the area though. So when you do get the guy down, try not to lose that position. So try not to run for the submission right away. Try to use ground and pound tactics if it's MMA. If it's just jiu-jitsu, try to use a lot of pressure to make them make mistakes, and then you look for that finish. The biggest mistake I've seen a lot of guys when they do get close is they jump too early to the next position, or they run for the submission, and the next thing you know, they're either on the bottom or they're standing up again. So make sure you keep that connection, and you want to maintain it. Do not give it up for any reason. Position over finish when it comes to anything. But those are just some tips that I can give you, helping shorter fighters defeat taller, longer fighters. But the biggest thing was the first advice I gave you. Ask shorter fighters how they do, especially when they're successful. Ask them, how have you been able to do this? I am Coach Sess, and you've had words with the Mad Coach.